there you go, and there you go. Good, good, good. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Now you're online and ready to go. Oh, you don't want that. There we go. Cool. So I this morning I spent a lot of time finalizing my IBKR layout and setup. Why is this doing that? All right, there we go. Sorry, I had to mute my reverb back. So yeah, I've been finalizing my IBKR setup. I think that's going to be ready to start rolling out with you all. We'll see how that comes out here shortly. Right now, I'm looking at February 23rd and 25th contracts for long, as well as continuing my tranche for Friday spreads. Things were working very well yesterday. I took some awesome PCSs that are going to be up nicely. I may actually look at closing those because I anticipate them being up over 50% today. If they are up over 50%, I will look at closing because obviously all it takes is one Russia headline to smoke us all in the face. All right, here's right now the charts coming down on R1 as the markets open in 30 seconds. How will they react? So what I'm going to do is go ahead and bring up February 23rd. I'm going to bring up 4310 calls just in case we have a face ripper green off of this little red here. We'll see. We'll see. That's just going to be my first guess at the day. All right, all right, all right. There's my charts. SPY on top, NASDAQ in the middle, and the VIX down here right at 27. And there's that green flipping back and forth, green, red, right off of R1. Right now, this thing is flipping back and forth crazy. Any kind of signs of bull rally, which looks like it's going to form, I'll be taking some calls. Everything on the watch list is bright green except for the VIX. Very bullish sentiment. And look at this green candle just pounding in off of R1. More drama from E-Trade for me today. Still more and more building evidence of why I'm continuing my switch over to IBKR. I woke up to my balance being $10,000 less than when I went to bed. So I have to get on the phone with E-Trade today and call them, holding no positions overnight, by the way. So I have to go and call them to have a discussion and figure out why that happened. We will see. It's never happened to me before in 11 years. So a little frustrated. But here we go. Green candle off of R1. Currently got February 23rd, 43.10s up. They are now 38.40. And we've got some bouncing here on R1. What's this candle want to do? It depends what kind of puts you've got, whether or not you want to hold them or not. Big green candles coming right up 43394. NASDAQ's chug-a-lugging right here. Yeah, E-Trade has been a dumpster fire since Morgan Stanley took over. I don't know if that's correlated or not, but it's definitely a fact. Man, look at that green candle. Got smoked. X that out. All right, so let's see if R1 can hold. Down 90%. Well, you know, you can always re-enter another trade here, so let's see what happens. Man, look at that. Big red coming off of that green. Big red coming off of that green. Glad I didn't take those calls for show. All right. Interesting action. Interesting action. A lot of shaking and baking here. No trades just yet. There's a big top wick and bottom wick on this candle. Who's going to step in and defend it? VIX bounced off of 27.83 and coming on up. Look at that. That candle's right back up to green and going up. Big green. 43.30 coming up to R2. Watch, R1 is still providing good support. Right there, bouncing off of it. No positions yet. No positions yet. The only spreads I'll be playing today will be tranching for Friday. I probably won't be playing any 1 DTEs unless we get some crazy moves that I can take advantage of. Other than that, I'll just stick with longs. May actually throw in some futures trades today. I've been tinkering with those a lot more, in addition to some obviously our normal plays. We'll see. Big green candle coming up and testing pre-market highs. It looks like I've got R3 just above where pre-market kind of fizzled out. Yeah, I'm still on the fence about taking some zeros today on terms of spreads. We'll see. It all depends on. There's a little bit of whenever the market goes against my bias, which it actually has today. I do have to adjust to that, and I want to be very careful because I'm still human. I still see things differently, so I need to let things adjust. It takes a few days, you know. So we'll see. We'll see how the market plays out. I'll be watching these levels, watching the price action. Obviously, there's a little indecision right now because we're getting top wicked and bottom wicked. Look at that 5-minute candle, wicks on both sides. So we'll see how things shake out, and we'll, if I need to take a 0 DT spread, I will. Right now, I've got SPX calls up and ready, just in case we decide to blast out the top. And I'll be looking at February 23rd, 4340 calls at the moment. Anyone taking profits on their PCS? I'm actually looking at doing that. Obviously, right here, look at this. Still a little pressure. Still a little pressure. Do not try to fight this stuff unless you're very quick on the trigger. So just let it play out, and we'll take our plays here shortly. $43.28 on the futures, SPX $43.34, SPY $4.32, and come. Oh, no lows. Look at that. Now it's getting a little spicy. Spicy. Interesting action. Coming all the way down to S1. Almost S1. That's a heck of a sell right there. Anybody want to trade this yet? Not me. I'm good. I'm good. Coming all the way down. ES is 43.25. Nasdaq's coming down red. Let's take a look at what the Europe's doing. Europe is still holding strong. Still holding strong. Oh, wait. You and me both, Justin. Look at that big bottom wick. Nasdaq still filling to the downside. All right, so let's take a look. I want to look at XLF. XLF is still green and climbing. As was Energies, XLE is climbing. We've got XLY slightly red, V is red, and XLK is kind of rounding over just a touch here. All of tech is definitely green, but starting to round over, at least for the morning candles. JP Morgan's green. What tickers am I using to watch the Euro market? I am looking at the FTSE, or the UK 100 here, and then the SSMI and the Deutsch 40. All right, currently looking at the 5-minute charts right now. Yeah, this action is nutty. A little indecision here, so just be careful. Remember, the VIX is still over 27. In fact, it spiked up today now to 28.5. So we still have a very high VIX. There's going to be a lot of shaking and baking. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. Veteran also, yes, he does live stream on Tier 4. Yes. He usually does it after I come off. There's a little top wick here. Interesting to see how this candle is going to close and how we're going to have a follow-on candle. Is it going to go up or is it going to come back down? Still eyeballing the 43. Let's see. I'm still eyeballing the 4340s on SPX. If you're looking at SPY, let's do the 434s. And big green candles eating up. This area just, and if you notice, which is unique, it doesn't happen this way often, R1 and S1 are both significant levels. If you notice that they were both highlighted, look at this huge buy up off of just above our S1, and we're making dollar and two moves like it's nothing. Look at that. Huge green buying up now. I want no part of this action. No thanks. No thanks. All right, we'll see how things are shaking. All right, NASDAQ popping new highs. There we go. A little bit of red and then shaking and baking all the way up. And then it's top wicked again. I feel like I'm watching a... I don't know what I'm watching. I don't know what I'm watching. I'm going to hang out until the morning range is set here and try to put in some trades. Right now, I am not going to fight this stuff. Wow, look at that. Look at that. So like I said, I'm almost up fully running on IBKR. I've got everything. I've got all the live subscriptions set up there for live data. I think I've got the mosaic layout how I want it. I've been kind of tinkering and removing stuff and adjusting. So, and the more I use IBKR, at first I looked at it just like everybody else. I'm like, screw this garbage. I'm not touching. I'm going back to E-Trade or something else. But the more I looked into it, the more I fell in love with it. It's highly customizable. It's fast. It's instant fills, and it's really not. I know we joke about it being from the 1990s, but I actually kind of like it. It's not as bad as we all think it is. So and I can monitor level 2 data right from the screen, which is great. You can't do that on E-Trade. So that'll be releasing a video here shortly. Once I get real comfortable with it and I don't sound like a bumbling idiot, I will show you what I got, and I like it. All right, man. A lot of big selling still. That thing just got smashed in the face, 40, 32, 38. And let's see. It looks like the NASDAQ still wants to test its lows here. That was a big smash right there. Sellers are still on board. Yeah, you can save it. Yeah, for sure. And you can create different tabs and like use the mosaics, and it's really cool. I like how you can adjust it, customize your entire trading experience to what you want to see. Everything was better in the 90s. I agree. I miss the 90s. I was only what, 14 in 1999, 13, something like that. But I miss it. Yeah, I'll still be using TradingView. In fact, I'm not going to do any charting at all on IBKR. I'm going to still maintain my charting on TradingView because I love TradingView. I don't think you can beat it. So, yeah, there won't be any charts on my IBKR setup. All right, holding the bottom of this morning range just under R1. NASDAQ, new lows, popping new lows right there. What's XLF doing? Highs on XLF. XLF financial industry continues to climb. The bonds, what are they doing? They're selling off hard. Rates now 1.9, but climbing. And what's driving that on there? Talked to my underwriter yesterday about acquiring some commercial property for investment purposes, and he quoted me 5.8% on interest rates. So the rates are coming back up. Anybody who's in the real estate industry or is a banker, they see that the rates are coming back up, which is a sign of the at least plateauing of the housing market, which obviously will lead to the downturn in the housing market. Let's see right there. So my next venture, and I, kind of go to that more conversation. My next venture is commercial properties instead of residential. You all know that I deal in residential investments. Next one will be commercial investments. I think that's where the real money is in terms of growing your investment portfolio. Yep. All right, big green after some red. Still want no part of this. This is a very risky morning so far. Want no part of it. Yeah, you're exactly right, K Tizzle. It's gonna fluctuate up and down now that there's way more demand than there is supply, and then that's going to wane. And then it's going to cause their interest rates to adjust, and then mortgage applications are going to continue to decrease, go on and so forth. But there's interesting conversation to be had in the next 20 years, whereas the population continues to grow exponentially. At some point, you're going to have to start expanding into the more and more rural areas because the supply is just going to dry up. In fact, when I was on, oh man, look at this green candle. This is nutty. This is not like I'm not even going to try to trade this stuff until I get a good trend. So this is just crazy. In fact, when I was in Vail, I was on the ski lift, and I was beside a realtor who lived in Vail, and he says that you'll never be able to buy a house in Vail for under 20 million for the next 20 or 30 years. They had 26 billion dollars of cash infused into the real estate market last year alone, and 90% of it was cash transactions. He's got the richest people in the world coming to Vail and slinging down $30 million in cash. He's like, all right, well, let me go out to my jet in Eagle County. Let me get the briefcase of cash out of my jet and come back and I'll buy this house. And that's what they're doing. $26 billion. And he says you'll never be able to buy a house under 20 million in the next 20 years. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. All right, so another top wick. Top wick city here. All these green candles are getting smashed. Nice, Brandon. Working on your real estate license now. That's exactly what I'm doing, represent. That's why I haven't bought any more properties. Waiting for the market to crash. And even I talked to a couple of realtors. He's like, the market will never crash, ever, never, never, never. It's going to go up and up and up and up and up. I was like, well, that's just not economically possible, Chief. But hey, go ahead and tip your hat on. I know. Real estate agents are eating pretty right now. They're eating good. So, and they were eating good in 2008 too. Just saying. Just saying. Or 2007, I should say. Well, that's the problem, and I don't want to get off too much of a tangent, but I'm not trading this crap. Is that the dude actually said that's the problem? Is that's why Vail can't keep workers and they're so understaffed because all of the homes have been bought or they're Airbnbs. So there's nowhere for the workers to live. So there's nowhere for them to work. All right, another green candle up through R1 to the top. We've got 10 minutes until the market, or 20 minutes, I'm sorry, until the range is set. NASDAQ looks like it's finally getting a little bid there. Well, in my particular neck of the woods, the main city is one of the largest growing cities in America, and it's starting to outflow to the cities, which is why I live 20 minutes north of the main city. So all of the population is starting to spill over. Not to mention we're a lake town, so there's a very high demand. It's a beautiful lake town where there's a huge lake, and it's a beautiful city outside of the main city. So there's several opportunities for growth here, as well as 90% of Californians have already found that out because they're all here. I did say lake. Hey, look at that. Another red candle. NASDAQ new lows. Wow. Interesting action. Wow. This is the most volatile chop I've seen in a long time. Usually it's volatility one way or the other, but this is just getting smashed up and down. Man, blasted through S1. Look at that. Holy smokes. Wow, holy smokes. All right. I am scalping. I'm shorting some futures real quick right here. It's happening really quick. I need to get out of them already. When I deal with this kind of change, I am just getting in and out real quick. Out. All right, good deal. I'm out. So, all right. So, I just scalped some short futures real quick to take advantage of that. We're under S1, and now I'm out of it already. So I am. I just so happen to be on that. That was nice. Okay, let's go over to SPX. So we're almost to that 10:05 range, and I'm going to start throwing down some spreads. I'm going to start throwing down some call options here if we start to bounce up here. However, there is some reports coming in, some more cyber attacks, so we may actually bring down the market here. It all depends on Putin, unfortunately. Yeah, it's not a bad day to be a past day so far. But right now you should be holding out until the 10:05 time frame. Let's see what happens. What's my name on Instagram? Options Millionaire. Options Millionaire. I believe my wife runs that platform. By the way, if you ever get a response from me on social media, it's my wife, not me. She runs my social media. Love her for it. Maybe Putin took my 10K. That's it. I'm going to Russia. I'm gonna pop him in the nose. Put your dukes up, Putin. It's crazy. Like I woke up, I was like, wait, what? Where'd my 10K go? Like I even looked in my positions to see if I accidentally left a position open that I didn't know about. Nope, no positions. Just 10K gone. No transactions, no transfers. I was like, maybe my wife transferred money out to buy me something to surprise me. Nope, nothing. Just 10K gone. All right, futures 43.20. Right now we're touching S1. Let's see if we can get a little bit up bounce-a-roni here. How do I join the trading? What's up, Jack? Oh, man. All right, hold on a second. I don't want to miss this if we start to flush. All right, looking at 43.20 puts, SPX. Let's tick in some contracts. Let's see if we can come down here. VIX is starting to climb 28.59. I'm sorry. All right, something's going on with E-Trade. That little gain just is not even showing. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm so ready for IBKR full time. It's not even funny. All right, here we go. Just under S1. Still coming on down. I got 1910 on the February 23rd, 43.20 puts. And down we're continuing to go. I know. Tell me about it. E-Trade's always something wrong with it. All right, so, oof. Let's see right there. Power E-Trade. Power E-Trade. All right, I've got the 43.20 puts up and ready, just in case we decide to go a little flush. This is starting to get a little intense. I've got 20 bucks on them right now. I don't really think we're gonna flush here, but I mean, this is some pretty bearish action, but we'll see. So it looks like it's more invasion talk. The United States believes Russia plans to launch a full-scale invasion within 48 hours. That's what I'm reading now. So I guess that's what a little bit of a sell-off here. It's approximately 8 and 3. The conversions 8 on SPX, 3 on SP on futures. Yes. If that's true, if we do have a full-scale invasion, that will send us back down to test lows. It's just we need, right now it's just more headline banter. It's more back and forth. No one really knows, what's truth and all that stuff. So the news is starting to creep more and more negative. But at this point, we need to see video of things actually happening. I think before we actually do smoke lows. We'll see though. We'll see. So we got a little bit of a base here forming on the NASDAQ. And now we got some bounce. How do you join? Here, I'll give you the link here. All right, there's a link to sign up. Figure out which tier you want to be a part of. Come hang out with us. Be aware though that it's coming up on the rebuilding on March 1st. So I don't want you to get double charged. But yeah, that'll get you access to the Discord, all the roles. You pick which tier you want, and come trade with us. We've got credit spreads. We've got tier 4, which is highly educational and high level, and then tier 1, which is basic options buying and selling. If you've been following me for a while, you know I'm very patient. I like to wait for most of the time. I like to wait for the morning range to set, and then we get to figure out how the market wants to adjust and play. Right now we are down to 431 after popping up to 433.5. So, but the buyers aren't really picking this thing up just yet. Although the 10:05 could change that. I got you. I got you, Justin. Yeah, so bear with me. I'm kind of filtering out and seeing what kind of what Russia headlines are posting. There's so much everywhere now. A lot of stuff is coming in at the moment. Um, Nasdaq's posted new lows right there. Boom, right there. All right, I'm in February 23rd, 43.20 puts right now. I got a fill of $20.80. I'll try to post it here, but I don't want to get blasted, so I'm putting in a stop in just above it. There's 2080, there's 2070. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and close half of that. Let's do 22. No, I'm not. I'm going to let this be. I think we may fall here. Entry 223, 43.20. Wow. Puts. Fill. We got 2080. All right, 23.50 right there. I'm going to go ahead and take half this position to 23.50. If I can get it. Let's do 22.50. Can't even get that. All right, so we got this little bottom wick on the red. Now we're filling down here. That's good. Good to go. Good to go. All right, I got to fill at 22.50 on half the position, holding the remainder. Holding the remainder. Got this bottom wick. Things do look dumpy. What I'm going to do is set a stop. That's at 20. Let's set it. I'm going to set it at 22 and a half, 21 and a half. I'm sorry, just in case this bounces, I could still get out with profit here. I'm going to see how low we can get this thing. All right, I got a stop set at 21 and a half. I'm just going to see how far we can get down. Man, another downside flush. Booyah. Look at that. All right, so maybe this is actually kicking off here. Maybe we do have the war. Man, I wish I would have held my short futures. Right, Vet? Jeez Louise. I'd have been smoking it right now. Stupid little scalp. All right, but hey, Nasdaq's coming on down here. This position's looking great. I got 22% on these already. I'm going to go ahead and take another lot off this at 25.20. Let me modify my stop order. Cancel. There we go. 25.40 for half of the remainder. Oh, 25.80. Dang, look at this. Man, what a flush. All right, I got filled the other half at 25.80. Still going down. Still got a small quarter of the position ref. PVI is red. All right, just over S3. See how S3 is highlighted? That is a considerable level. That is a very considerable level. And it's highlighted, and we are blasting through everything like it's nobody's business. All right, I'm probably going to go ahead and take this position here. Let's put in it for 25 and see if I can get a fill at 25. Got a limit order in for 25. 43.20 puts, February 23rd. Nope. Let's do 24. Gotta change to 24 based on the 10:05 coming up. Let's do 23. Filled to 23. Out the rest 23. Just because 10:05 is coming up and I don't want to get reversed. So out all of it 23. So mass cyber attacks all throughout Ukraine at the moment. And let's see if we can just retrace a touch higher here. Yep. So everything that we are seeing, it looks like that Russia isn't preparing for, preparing for a war, which isn't necessarily looking good. All right, so we got a little base forming here. There's the 10:05 time. Do we have continuation or a reversion? This thing looks like it wants to come on back down. Yeah, oil's going to go up for sure. I think Trump gave an interview yesterday on a podcast or something. He's saying that he sees oil hitting $200 $2 a barrel. Obviously, he has an agenda, but green candle wick down, bam, smashed. All right, so watching this S3 level, you notice that S3 is highlighted more than S2 and S1. Or I'm sorry, S1 is as well because these are strong levels. I indicate those by the little plus sign. So Tesla's now 801. Apple, let's see. Let's take a look what they're doing. All red here. A little bit of green coming in. Oh, man, Tesla getting smoked. Look at that. Nothing but red on Tesla. What's the financial sector doing? They are turning down. The whole market's starting to turn pretty red here. Starting to turn pretty red. Boom. Red candle smoked. All right, so we are testing S3 right now. Under S3, I'm going to look to start playing some very bearish positions if we start smoking down under here. Looking a little dicey. Looking a little dicey. We need some sort of support, otherwise we may start smoking. I got 4,300 February 23rd puts, and there's more downside. Let's do, I'm going to bring up 4,300 puts, February 23rd. Ready to go if we break under S3. There's a bottom wick, a little bit of support around S3. VIX coming up to our yesterday's pivot, 29.14, right on top of it right now. Russia also says their banks were hit by the attacks, not just their infrastructure. Yeah, what did I say? My bad. Yeah, Ukraine. Yep, Ukraine. Slip of the tongue. So we got NASDAQ's a little green at the bottom, just under S3. Let's see XLF. Getting smoked. Man, look at that. XLF is getting destroyed. I have a launch control voice. Do I work at NASA? No. I'm a military pilot, though, but I'm not. I don't work in NASA. So Tesla's got a big green candle. Is that what you're saying? All right, yeah, a little green there. So a little green coming back into tech. Right now, the financial sector is getting roasted. Let's see how we react. There's a little bounce off of S3 here. We're going to have continuate or a little reversal or continue down. When Space Force was formed, did they try to poach you Air Force guys? Nope. I'm a pilot, so I don't think they're not going to approach us anytime soon, unless they start launching rockets. Yep, there's that article I read. Yeah. So S3, they're defending S3 right here, which is why I highlighted this level here. Let's see how we react. Do we get a follow-on green, a little bounce back up into the middle of the range, or a little selling action down? That's what we need to find. In every stream, almost every 5 minutes, we get to hear you're a pilot. We get it. Maybe you can stop now. Maybe you can take your viewership elsewhere. Do your contracts move faster if you buy near the money instead of further away? You really want to dial down into the deltas there. You want to start looking at how the market's going to move and how the options contracts are going to move based on the price action with the deltas. So I think it's more of a conversation about deltas than it actually is at the money or near the money. I love it. I can start talking about CrossFit too if you want. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so here we got a little green, and then a red candle just at S3, still clung to S3. Still clung to S3. Just waiting, just waiting. Mining positions now. No, I played a put down about 20-ish percent. I scalped a couple of seconds in and out of a future scalp, future short, but right now those are the only two positions. Nothing holding currently though. Nothing currently holding. Looking for maybe a little bit of buyer's reprieve up into the middle of the range. But other than that, right now, it looks like buyers don't want to take it too much higher. The UN chief warns if Ukraine conflict expands, the world could see a scale of severity unseen for many years. Ukraine soldier just died in a shelling attack. And a red candle brings us down to S3. Oh, big red. Look at that. Boom. Boom. Like it. Like it. XLF still in lows here. Still forming new lows going back to yesterday's afternoon. Mid-range. Still, I'm not looking to enter in puts just yet. I want to see this continuation. We're still hovering, clung right on S3. We're stretching that rubber band right now. We're stretching that rubber band. What is a PCS? PCS is a put credit spread. That is where it's a bullish position. It's where you're going to sell put premium under the current price, and your goal is your hope is that price stays above that short strike. What am I using for news scanner? I've got Bloomberg News and I've got Twitter up, my Twitter feed. I think we have the Bloomberg Twitter account, a couple other market-related Twitter account. So if you follow a couple of good reputable sources on Twitter, it's actually a great way to get some breaking news as long as they post quick enough. That's why you have to be very selective on who you decide to follow on Twitter and make sure it's not a bunch of garbage. I follow Zero Hedge too, but he tends to be a little biased, so I take what he posts for like a grain of salt. I usually double check what he posts. So another red candle here. Looks like we might go lower. Me personally, I'm not. I may start. I'm going to look at closing my PCSs here. It's starting to look a little dicey. I've got some way down, like 4,100 PCSs. But if this kicks off, I don't think 4,100 will be a problem for the market to touch. If this kicks off, so. Is the stream delayed? It's delayed by about 3 or 4 seconds. If you are a Patreon subscriber, I highly encourage you to log into the Patreon stage channel in Discord. That way you get rid of that delay, at least from the voice standpoint. Oh, yeah, my bad. There you go. Boom. All right. NASDAQ's forming a little bottom here as well as SPY on S3. Am I waiting for a red candle to completely flush through S3 or follow on red after? I am looking for an influx of sellers volume and a break of the prior candle low, which is what, approximately 429.31. Yeah, look forward to having you. You're very welcome. I do, yeah. I'm looking at prior swing lows and highs and prices. I want them to break out, either high or low. It depends kind of. Once we take out that particular level, I'm looking for continuation, which is kind of more of a description of where I want the price to actually go. Well, lucky Scott that I've got a pretty common name, so. But thank you. Any chance Patreon stage can see your charts? No, it's unfortunately limited, which is why I don't do that. Otherwise, I would pretty much do it only in Discord because they limit to how many people can actually log on, which was great back in the day. But now I've got 600 people in Discord listening to the stages, and it maxes out the limit, unfortunately. I think only like 25 people or something like that. I appreciate that. Thanks for the nice words. There's a lot shaking and baking with the community, though, man. Obviously we brought on Vet. He's the newest, shiniest toy we have in the community. We're going to be rolling out his stuff and kind of refining his data so it could be more easily digested with the Tier 4 members. A lot of stuff shaking and baking. So there's going to be some cool stuff coming in 2022 and 2023. I got a new shirt. I'm actually wearing it right now. I love it. Still holding S3. That's what we're looking for. I want a separation from S3. Which channel is Vet's data posted? Right now he does Vet's Corner and then Wealth Solutions. But we are in the process, me and him are talking behind the scenes about organizing everything and putting in a nice streamlined format for all the new members to come in so we don't get inundated with the basic beginner, hey, where do I start questions. And so we can kind of refine data if you want to go back and reference it. Do I think SPY keeps bleeding today? I do. With the headlines that are releasing today, they're starting to become more and more intense and not good news. So That's what I'm looking at. If these headlines continue to deteriorate, then I do think we're going to start dropping. So I'm always saying that because of these headlines that we have expected. I didn't expect things to kick off that aggressively today. I thought today might be a kind of like a buyer's relief day upwards, and yeah. And there's go another red candles here, and there's the flush. Boom. Bam. Little bottom wick. All right, I'm in these puts here on the 4300s, February 23rd, as we broke down through that candle. Let's see if we can come down here. I'm going to put a stop at my break-even point. Now that is a flush candle. So I do think we're going to continue to drop in lieu of this news. That's why I just went ahead and entered this 4300 put. Right there. Watch this downfill. I'm going to put a break-even stop on this just in case we kind of get that rage back up. Coming on down, coming on down. I've got 2190 on this put right now. I got a downfill action, increasing sellers on the NASDAQ. Let's look at XLF real quick. Still down, but a little bottom wick. SPY, downfilling. And NASDAQ, downfilling, just under S3. That's what I'm looking for. For those who was looking, I was looking for the break of that swing low right there to enter a put. I entered a put right about there. And now we're flushing down. That's what I'm looking for continuation. Big red on the NASDAQ, big red on SPY. I'm going to go ahead and sell half here, 23.30. What I get filled at. 23.70 is what my actual fill was. So that actually worked in my benefit. You put in a limit order, you get a higher fill. 23.70 was my first sell fill. All right, so now we have a continuation red candle through S3 down to S4. Still falling. Little Tom Petty action for you. Man, down, 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 down. All right, let's do 25. Do another lot here at 25. Ooh, still going. Wow. There's 24. I love it. I love it. So SPX is 42.42.90. My puts are in the money by 10. I'm going to do another lot at 26.10. 26.10. Can I get it? Can I get it? Can I get it? Bam, right there. Another lot at 26.10. Letting the rest. Holy crap, I can't talk. Letting the rest ride. I guess that's because I'm a pilot. Sorry. All right. All right, so we got a little 428.40 coming down on S4. 24.30 now off of S4. Do I think we have another red day past S4 and 5? I do think it's. I mean, this is looking, obviously the market's very heavy. Well, I mean, we're only down 0.24 off of the close. It just looks a little worse because we had that big upside. However, I do think because of these the headlines, like I said, I do think we have some downside potential. But unfortunately, you can't predict news. You can read the technicals all day long. We've got supports. We got particular levels. We have demand and supply zones. But when you start bringing fear injected for a possible World War III, I mean, who knows? Who knows? Your guess is as good as mine. We just have to play what we see. All right, sold the rest 23.30. 23.30. Out of that position completely. Let me post on OM Longs. Trying to do this quickly. Still might break down below this for sure, but me personally, I want to pop in and out. I don't want to get caught any face-ripping bounces or buyer's rallies. I want to stay in the positive here, so popping in and out. Made out with a $2,300 gain. Nicely done, Bobby. Awesome stuff. Another breakdown of S4. Let me look here at popping back in. I'm going to go down to 42.80s on these puts. Man, I should have held that short futures. I'd be up huge. That would be like 30 points on the futures right now. Big flush candle. All right, 42.80 puts. Getting ready to enter these if this continues. XLF is getting absolutely smoked. Tech is getting smoked. Everything is getting smoked. The market is entering risk off mode. They want to take risk off the table here. Nice W dog, 200%. VIX is up 29.73. Oh, look at that. Look at Veteran coming in and out, killing it. Love it. Killing it. Yep. Yeah, I heard that about an hour ago. Now, Spain has recommended all Spaniards leave Ukraine as quickly as possible. The world is definitely preparing for bad news. So, currently holding no positions. Currently out of everything. Crazy. I'm from the UK. Nice, nice. You do a bit of horse racing. As in you bet on horse races or you actually do the racing? Ah, nice. $26% on some puts. Nicely done. All right, let's look at the big top 10. What are they doing? So all been pretty red. Looks like they maybe have a temporary consolidation period right here. Berkshire is getting destroyed, as well as JP Morgan. Everything getting destroyed. $35% on some puts. Nicely done, Jesse. Well done. Been learning so much. I'm glad for it. I'm glad it. Thanks for being here. Do you place a decently big position to take profits as soon as possible if it goes green? No, not necessarily. I'm not looking to, I don't want to over position myself just so I could take a quick dollar gain if it moves incrementally. I don't want to do that. That's a bad way to get smoked because, yeah, that's great, grand, and wonderful until that position goes against you and you get wiped out. So stick to my system. I want to catch runners. I want to implement a position size that's going to allow me to sit through fluctuations in the market. And if you do take a very large position because if you want to capture a very small movement of charts to get a big dollar amount, that's playing your P&L. All you're doing is trading your P&L. You're not trading the charts. And it sucks when that position immediately goes against you and you see a very large dollar amount loss because you did that. How long am I usually live? Usually about an hour or two. I usually sign off about 11 o'clock, 11:30 Eastern time. All right. Slight green forming. Ukraine state of emergency is supposed to start from midnight, February 24th for 30 days. I remember when you used to take long scalp positions 1 to 2 DTE and closer to 30 35 delta. What prompted you to move higher delta? 0 DT. Yeah, Phil, I think just answered it. The more confident I got with this particular system, and with the stuff I've learned from vet and myself, I've been able to capture higher gains with zeros. However, I will caveat this. I trust myself not to hold on for dear life, quote unquote, or have diamond hands. I treat 0 DTE positions very carefully. I do not let them go against me very much at all. Because I am aware with 0 DTEs, you do capture bigger gains, but you can also capture bigger losses and faster losses. So I don't toy with them very much. I don't let them run against me. If you're going to play zeros, you have to trust yourself and you have to be very disciplined. When I first started, do you stick to a profit goal for each day? When I first started, yes. Now I don't really care. I care about my system. If I make 30 grand a day, if I make 5 grand a day, it doesn't matter to me. Like I am looking to trade my system because when you start chasing the dollar amount, you start making stupid mistakes. You start being, all right, well, my goal is 2 grand a day, but I'm only at 500. I need to start taking some risk to get that money. And you start making very stupid stuff, stupid decisions. And then when you go away the other direction from your dollar goal, you start getting very emotional and down on yourself and depressed. And then even though you made $500 in a day, because you didn't hit your profit goal, you're going to be all bummed out. And it's just not a good way to manage your finances. I would rather change my system and just make sure that I'm making smart decisions, and the profits will come. The profits are incidental of your trading system. And I highly encourage you to do the same. Where can I learn your system? Yep, in the Patreon and the Discord. I do. I talk about it all the time. Yeah, and we have conversations throughout the day. Even when I'm not streaming, I will discuss everything in the trading room. But if you look at S3, we consolidate around there, separated from it. Now it looks like we are testing back towards S3 here, but not very strong. Do I do any 0DT iron condors? Yeah, but I don't. For the 0DT, I don't throw in iron condors. I'll leg into it with PCSs, NS, and CCSs. I'll leg into it. What is my contract size for an average trade versus high confidence trade? Man, it depends. It depends. It depends on the particular day. It depends on if I'm in a bad mood. Literally, if I get up and I'm in a bad mood, I'll tell myself, you got to be careful today. And everyone wakes up in a bad mood. They get, they're aggravated, they're on edge. If I have one of those mornings, I will trade less just because of that. Because I guarantee you 9 times out of 10 when I wake up like that, I usually have a losing day or a struggle. So it all depends. There's a whole bunch of different factors that bring that in. Some days I'm waking up and I'm, walking on cloud 9. I'm Mr. Confident and I make a killing because I do have that confidence and you're able to see things clearly. Or like days like today, I wake up and I'm bearish and the morning was very bullish. I was very aware of that. Obviously now we've kind of reverted back to bearish, but it's all about that. How do you join? Here, I'll post a link again. There's that Patreon there. Go in there and select which tier you want. Ask questions if you're not sure which tier. Be aware, though, once again, March 1st is coming, and the rebilling comes out on March 1st, which I don't want you to get double charged, but I have no control over that. Big red on the NASDAQ. I'm not looking to enter until we break swing lows, though. One second. Get a phone call from my daughter's school. Stand by. All right. I'm back. Sorry. Might have to leave a little earlier to go pick up the daughter from school. She's got a bit of a chest cold. But anyway, a little red candle here. Coming down to lows again. NASDAQ's testing lows at the moment. So So far, I don't see an increase in selling action after the initial dump here. We're kind of just consolidating right here over S4 under S3. I'm just waiting for a move. Are we going to have a relief move, or are we going to have a continuation move? NASDAQ's coming down, new lows. Another flush on NASDAQ. Arnold Schwarzenegger Lake Tahoe house. It's crazy. All right, no new news so far other than what's been released this morning, but NASDAQ is definitely pounding lower. I'm going to go to the 4270s on SPY. I'm sorry, SPX, 427s if you're looking at SPY. "45 minutes the UK market closes." Let's take a look at XP or the UK market here, and this is what we got. So a little downward action. Yeah, I saw that too, that headline. So I'm going to give it another 45 minutes here, and I'm going to be looking at throwing in some spreads, possibly, depending on the action that we see. If we're going to have any kind of buyer's relief here, but right now it's all sellers. Sellers are very much in the driver's seat. Wish I would have held on to. If y'all notice, I took a short of the futures last night, right after the market closed, and I closed it for a very, very small profit. I wish I would have held them, obviously, but I would have to hold to a lot of loss. So yeah, but here we are, 428.33. Nothing yet. Thank you. Appreciate that, Harold. Well, the VIX is back up to 2940, which obviously is commensurate with what we're seeing. Do you tend to use a tight stop loss? Let's say 5%. With zero DTEs, you have that's the thing. It's more. The only time I really when I start setting stops, I don't set them right at entry, because you'll get blown out in no time, every time. With zero DTEs, I'll enter the position. I'm closely monitoring it. Once I get extension away from, like in a favorable move, then I'll set a stop. Usually I'll set a stop loss at break even. So no matter what, I can get out at break even. And then I'll adjust from there. I'll kind of play hopscotch with the price so I can maintain profits. It keeps me safe, and it keeps me from letting my emotions become involved. If we see a full-on World War III, we'll see VIX at 90, not 40. We'll see VIX at 40 if we start getting sell off. I mean, it was almost at 40 back in January. It was like, what, 38, 37 is what we got to? I mean, go back and look at what the VIX hit back in coronavirus, when the first coronavirus came out in 2020. All right, still waiting just under S4. If you're just joining us here, we're kind of waiting for a chart here or a setup here. Right, we're just under S4. We are kind of testing yesterday's afternoon highs right up here. There's a lot of digestion coming on with the Russian news. It's appearing to get worse and worse. Nasdaq can't find a bid. XLF, everything is getting smoked right now. If we break under swing lows again, kind of under S4, I'll look at taking some puts or either shorting futures, and then we'll take a bounce above. Yeah, with 0 DTEs, a 10% stop will get taken out very quickly. Currently looking at 4280 puts on SPX. 4280 puts. If we lost volatility in the market and went back to July, June 2021 days, how would you play the knowledge? If I were to do that, I'd probably scalp futures and I would play some spreads. Those would be probably a primary source of income because I remember the market was just. The reason why I would choose futures here is because I wouldn't want to deal with decay, and if I take a position on a very choppy day with options and it goes flat like it did, and it's very hard to time that because it's very tight chop. I wouldn't want to have to get decayed, so I would trade futures just in case I was stuck in a position, and I would trade spreads. Assuming we had a VIX about 13, 14 with very tight, choppy action. But I don't see us going back there for a great deal of time. Great deal of time. When you say shorting futures, do you mean long ES puts? Nope, I mean actually shorting. Ow. Just stubbed my toe. I mean actually shorting futures. I do have S6 and S7 calculated. I will post them if we start breaking down to S5. Why don't I trade other stocks like Nvidia, Facebook, Tesla, and other companies, etc.? I do. It's occasionally I'll throw in. I've traded Amazon and Facebook too, and we all know the Facebook put I took a couple weeks ago. Uh, I like to stick to one thing. I like to master SPY, SPX this market here. So and every now and then I'll toss in another trade. Wow, 42.50. How does someone short futures like ES? If you, like for example, E-Trade, you can actually open up ES, the ES contracts, and you could actually trade the options contracts, which I've done a lot, or you can actually short and trade the actual futures, which requires a lot of leverage, but I also do that as well. So you can choose either one. You'd have to select a little box as a future options or futures. What makes you choose long SPX options over ES even in open trading hours? You offer much liquidity and tighter BA. I just like to do both, honestly. I like to do both. All right, man. We had a little green follow-on candle. Thought we might get a little reprieve, but still down. No buyers here. So what this tells me, what does this tell me in terms of demand? Is that the buyers still think this is too high. So until the buyers agree that this price is where they want to start entering, we're not going to climb. And in fact, here we go, another flush candle as NASDAQ is getting smoked in the face again. I got 42.80 puts. Let's see what we can do here. Red candle bouncing back up. All right, so honestly, there's definitely a demand zone right here. If you notice, this is S4 is where we bounced off right here in the early afternoon and the late afternoon. We bounced off of it again and rallied right before close. So there's definitely a demand zone right here, and we are holding it. That red candle dipped and then got bought up. Did I get into it 42.88 put? No, I'm not holding anything right now. All right. So we do have a couple of green candles here. Interesting bottom wick now. A little bit of green, not much strength though. I think we may have found the bottom for today. Potentially. I think we have more downside in order here. I think we're going to close lower, if I had to guess. All right, here's some more red. When do I start looking at calls? If we start testing S3 and we start getting buying volume, start to do some buy ups and bottom wicks, then I will start looking at some calls. But right now, it is straight selling. Like the buyers want no part of this. And look at this, another drop here on this. Any PCSs today? Not yet. If we start to tank to like 425, 424, I'll look at way far down 0DTs because then the VIX will be very high, and I'll try to take some 4150 PCSs, even 4120s. But here's some downside. And greened up. So the buyers are starting to defend here. For show. Right at S4. So we've been here for a good while. We've got 28 minutes until the European market closes. We've got some defense here. It's not very strong, but we are wicking up some red candles. So the next few candles in terms of where we want to break, high or low, it will be crucial. Not to mention we probably might be consolidating until European market closes. Seeing this as maybe strong support and buyers defend, you consider buying calls with a tight stop loss? No, and the reason being is because with the volatility this high, if I place a speculatory call here, it can get blown out very quickly if I'm wrong. When the VIX is almost 30, I mean big like $2 moves. I mean look at yesterday. Key moment. You saw how aggressive this market still is. So I'm very careful on placing preempt like trying to front run positions like that because if you're wrong, you're going to get destroyed. I do. I do take them outside the money. I never take them in the money. Usually I take them at, sometimes I'll take them at the money, but most of the time I'm taking outside the money positions. You're very welcome. What's the best platform to trade? Me personally, I'm switching everything over to IBKR. Me personally. Still holding S4. Now, let's look at UK. They've mimicked our opening action. Big sell-off downside and now consolidating sideways. 11,976 here on the Swiss. And then the German markets are getting pounded too. There's a red candle. Yep, Interactive Brokers, correct. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Smashed. And back up. Wow. Didn't get my fill on the put there. I got 1785. Dang it. So somebody just asked me that question. How do I get in when a big Momo candle? Because when it's that aggressive of a drop, I can't get in that fast. So I'm looking for another entry here, but I still use limit fills. When you've got big aggressive momentum, you never want to do market fills. Never, never, never. You remember my rogue fill? That's what happens when you do market orders. Is that some jabroni, I had a position that was at 20 bucks on the bid, and I did a market order to sell, and I got filled at over 60. And that's because somebody did a sell order, a market order at 60 plus, or did a market order, and I got filled at 60. So an instant 300% gain, and the price was nowhere near 60. Yeah, don't do market orders. Most of the time, you probably be okay relatively, but there's going to be one time you get rogued, and it's no bueno. Look at that red downside. Look at this. Booyah. Another bounce off S5, bottom wick green candle. VIX now over 30, 30.7. Wow. I'm telling you, man. I know people saying this is the bottom. I don't see 4,200 coming into play today. If this hits that sell-off period, which we are approaching, and we start breaking down below mine and Vet's levels, I have 4281. Vet's got 4278. We start breaking below there, we could start touching 4220, 4200. This market, the buyers have completely stepped out. There's a lot of crap going on with Russia. More and more likely that we're looking at a conflict. Hello from France. Welcome, welcome. If we break down under S5, I'll look at entering more puts here if we kind of separate from S5. Obviously, I missed my fill here on this red. I don't want to chase and get a bounce. But if we start breaking under S5, I'll throw in another put here. All right, I'm closing this out right here. All right, I just closed out my 4100 PCS because if this starts getting going, I don't even want to deal with that. I don't want to watch my nice little healthy profit here, 50% profit, go to $9 a premium. So, all right, we're below S5, so now it's time to start talking about S6 and 7. 427.15. That's a good one right there. Yeah, VIX is starting to get 30. We start hitting 38 like we did back in January. I think, like I'm telling you, remember what we saw in January. I'm not saying be biased here. I'm just saying be aware of what could happen. So I'm actually about to close out the 40/60s too. People calling me chicken. You know what? You know what? I'm a chicken who'll never blow up my account again. So call me chicken. I've been there, done that. I've blown up my account. It does not feel good. All right, that's out too. Better be a chicken than a nugget. You're very right. You're very right. Yep, PCS is a put credit spread. So I had 41. Let's see. I had 4100s and 4080s, 4008, 40080 PCSs with short legs. I closed those out. They were at roughly 50%, give or take. I closed those out because I just don't want to deal with any kind of major sell-off. If we do start breaking down below 20 or 4270 and then 4220 because of this, they were going risk off with Russia, we could very well start testing mid 4100s. Now, do I think we're going to hit 4080 because I just closed it out? Not really. However, I don't want to watch my premiums go to $4 and deal with that stress of what if we hit that point where the market wants to go that far. So I just take it off. You know, I've already made good money off of them. I'm up 30, 40, 50% on them. So why even risk it? Me personally, I am a risk-off kind of guy. Risk-off kind of guy. That's why... Oh, never mind. What's up, Pecan Pie? Yeah, good deal. Good deal. I'm glad. All right, this is my personal charts here. I'm going to take this and I'm going to bring this over. Boom. Right there. So we are now $6 off of today's opening session high. Let me bring up my handy dandy notebook here. There it is. All right, S6 is now posted in the OM analysis channel. And that is another significant level. We're starting to hit a lot of good supports here. How much lower do you think SPY can hit? I mean, when you start, right now we are at key supports. It all depends on what happens the next few minutes. European market's about to close here in 15 minutes. We are currently at very key supports. If we start breaking down below here, I don't think 424 is out of the question, if not lower. If we start selling off below here. And here's the reason why. I'm going to zoom out to the 1 year. We've already tested below here once and kind of fleshed out those orders. Look at this. We do have strong support 426. We did drop down to 420.80. I do think if we test it a second time, it's going to be less likely to have a strong bounce. Here's another red candle. The way I'm seeing this is a lot of the buyers have completely stepped out. We're just defending just enough to consolidate as we renegotiate these levels and then continue to fall. Do I ever redraw my levels? Never. Never redraw them. When you start getting into the world of redrawing your levels, you start bringing in buys, you start bringing in changes, and I don't want to do that. I want to set the levels and then trade off of them. Another red. Now, if we do decide to bounce, Tesla's down 4%. Wow. All of tech is just getting roasted. If we do bounce, then I'll kind of change my thesis. But right now is the decision point. I'm going to let the chart decide how far I think we're going to go or bounce back up. All right, more red. If we start breaking under here is when I will look at sticking some puts under here. Look at that. Another flush. Boom. Okay. All right, stand by here. Looking at some plays. Swear, oh, you heard my alert. Yeah, I set an alert on on my trading view. Beep. So VIX came off just a touch, spiked up to 30.67, now back down to 29.80, just a touch. Now we got a bottom wick. All right, 10 minutes till the European close. After the European close, I'm going to hop off here. No, you're not rooting for communism now. You're just paying the market conditions. Theta decay. Oh, yeah, yeah. Just want to let you know. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, one of our mods, formerly known as Haymaker, now Bullish Bear. He's over deployed dealing with the conflict firsthand. So, prayer for him and well wishes for him and all the people in Ukraine. Nice, Lieutenant. 3 for 3 today. Can I get deployed? Yeah, absolutely. I'm still an active member of the military. If a conflict kicks off, absolutely. All right, so 3 plays, including the features last night, 2 puts, and then a short feature. Both pretty dang good gains. Pretty dang good gains. Nothing else so far just yet. Just waiting for how we're going to react. Let's kind of zoom out a little bit and just kind of take a look at a broader view of the charts. Minimize that. So all in all, we're only off 0.5% from yesterday's close, but a little bit more considering that we were up to 433 in pre-market. So we've dropped from 433 to 427, $6, which is about a percent, percent and a half. If I had to do the rough math, percent point 1.3%. Considerable sell-off. 426.94 and no buyers in sight. Buyers do not want to touch this. Yes, trust me, the military is well aware of the consequences of what's going to happen. How much am I up? I'm having a pretty good day. I'm having a pretty good day. All right, here's the strongest green candle we've had in a while. Still not much buying volume. Let's see if we kind of build into that. So 4 minutes till European close. Looks like they're debasing here a little bit of green across the board. Let's just see how this rolls. Do we get any relief bouncing today, or does it go? All right, I am going to take a speculation call here to see if we get any relief bounce here. I took the, let's see, 42.85 calls. These will be a scalp. I'm not looking for a huge home run here. I'm not looking for a huge home run. Curly in the calls. Very strong sustained selling here. I think sometimes we get that relief rally from the European market closing. Let me go back to my charts. SPY up top. My thesis will be I'll close these if we break below this bottom candle, this swing low. That'll be that 426.61. That'll be my thesis to close if we start getting sold off there. I will wait till after we close, though. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it about the Patreon if I get deployed. So I never thought I'd have to deal with that, but obviously it's something that we'll have to discuss. We'll figure something out. So UK is getting a bounce into close. Tesla, red action. There's some red, testing earth 5 again. How do I feel about put spreads? Me personally, I don't want to play spreads on anything other than SPX. Me personally. I don't want to deal with assignment and all that stuff. Yeah, they are posted live. Yes, represent, for sure. Why do I trick SPX options instead of SPY? Uh, I prefer SPX because of the tax benefits, obviously. But yeah, and not to mention SPX, it's a cash settlement, so there is no risk of assignment there. You tear it SPY. If you do puts on anything else, you could have a chance of getting assigned. RIP my calls. What is with y'all on the RIP thing? It's still on my thesis. Trade your thesis. We're good. Like I said, it's just going to be a scalp for a relief bounce on European close. That's it. I'm not looking for big upside. I'm not looking to blast up again. I'm just looking for a scalp bounce. If I don't get it, cool. But I'm putting that play in there to see if it can get up there. Where the trade's posted, if you go into Discord, they're posted in OM longs and OM theta. OM theta is for tier 2, OM longs is for tier 1. Hey, there's a little green. All right. 1730, 1760. Market is now the European market's now closed, and they are in their post hours. Well, thanks, Johnny. Appreciate that. All right, there's 1730. I'm going to put in a limit order for 1750. See if I can get it. There's 1760. I'm going to let it go a little bit more. I'm going to go a little bit more. There's 18, 1805. Let's put in 18. I'm going to be happy with 18. Like I said, this position, my thesis was take small scalp gain. I'm not looking for a huge blast green. If we do get it, we'll reevaluate, take a new position. But right now, I like where this is at. Filled 1790. I got a 1790 fill. Exit 1790. How'd y'all like that? RIP my comment. Y'all are crazy. So, yeah, man. That's one thing that we have to. This is a perfect example of when to be patient. Just be patient. Sometimes you're not going to get the immediate favorable move. So, just be patient. Am I a magician? No. Although, fun fact, in high school, I did take 2 magic classes. One of our teachers was a magic dude on the outside, and he did hold magic classes, and I was a big enough geek. But I did play football too, and I started, so I had to balance out the jock with geek. I'm good to go though. All right, red candle off of S4. Looks like a good exit. I was a defensive end and a left guard. They had me, and I was a long snapper, by the way. But yeah, they had me on the line because I had very strong legs. I was the biggest squatter on the team, so strongest, I should say. Oh, nice. 6'4" and 300 in high school. You were a beast, John. All right, so there's the rejection off S4. That's why I was saying. I'm not looking for a big move. I'm just looking for a scalp. That's why I closed it. I'm not looking for a big gain. And that's why, that crap right there, because we're still in a bearish environment, but I thought we'd get a little relief buy off of European close. In T4, does veteran teach the time frames of the market? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Again, uh, obviously I'm biased here, but and I would highly encourage you, even 1 month, not even forever, but even just 1 month, go learn from Vet and what he teaches. It's been incredible. The stuff he put in Super Patreon for free the past year are just breadcrumbs compared to what he's teaching now. So absolutely, it's amazing. What price would you be a buyer of Palantir? Pretty close to it, man. Pretty close to it. Not gonna lie. I may start a speculation play on Palantir shortly into my long-term account. I have not, Nathan. I have not experimented with Bollinger Bands. Does European close usually unwind the opposite trend? Yes and no. Yes and no. It all depends on circumstance. Bob says she makes one post and gets more than likes than OM gets all day. Yeah, well, she's much prettier than I am, so I'm okay with that. What's the course name you recommend? It's the Tier 4 Wealth Solutions. That is our Tier 4 channel. If you go to that Patreon link I posted in and click on the Tier 4, you'll get access to that and read about it. But yeah, it's our local in-house quote unquote hedge fund trader. And the dude's managed over $600 million in assets. He's managed several different funds or several different many different accounts. So the guy's a wealth of information, an absolute beast of a trader. I think everyone who's dealt with him can attest to that. And a fantastic person, man. He's got, in addition to all that's great, grand, and wonderful. But if you're a douche or if you do not have a heart of a teacher, it doesn't matter. I don't care. Luckily, a veteran has a heart of a teacher, and he's an awesome dude. So I had the pleasure of meeting him this past weekend in person. I can't wait for you all to do the same. So highly encouraged Tier 4. Highly encouraged Tier 4. And we're both pilots. Meh. Aviators, man. Aviators got to stick together. We need some submarine guys in here. Yeah, we do. We do. Y'all are crazy. Yep, she's definitely better looking, veteran. Definitely better looking. If you have a current subscription and you purchase Tier 4, do you get charged the difference? Yes, you get charged the difference in what you paid and what Tier 4 is. Once again, disclaimer, if you sign up today, you're going to get double charged again on March 1st. I have no control over that. So if you do not want to get charged twice in a 1 week time frame, wait till Tier 4 or wait till March 1st. I can't do anything about it. Out of my hands. I'll let you take over here shortly, Vet. I got to go get me a protein shake. Plus, I got to do some scalping. I got to warm up the old fingers. Yeah. How much profits do I make monthly average day trading? Uh, that is, that's a good conversation. I'm glad you brought that up because I don't, you all know me. I don't show my dollar amounts. One, because I have OPSEC concerns. I was told not to share that information. Two, because I don't think it's pertinent. What is it? What does it help you guys to see my dollar amount? However, my goal in 2023 is to open up or at least start showing a small account, like put a small account that's strictly for you all, so you can see gains, losses, how pretty much what my daily percentages look like on terms of a scale. So that's my goal in 2023, and I'll start rolling something out like that. First, I really have to have some conversations because once again, I can't, given my employment, I can't really publicly show a lot of finances because it opens me up to extortion, stuff like that. That's their view. So, but we'll see. What monthly percentage do I shoot for? Honestly, I don't really have a set dollar amount or a percentage I'm looking for. Like I'm more like the one thing I do focus on, I'll tell you, is the daily win rate. That's pretty important to me. Just because it tells me what I'm doing right and wrong. Not necessarily a dollar amount. I don't care if I'm right one day. If I have a month of 20 trading days in a month and 18 of them are green and 2 of them are red, that's great for me. That's like I'm doing stuff right, especially if there's volatile market conditions, which by the way is pretty accurate for me. So yeah, and then after that, I look at my balance. If I had 18 green days and 2 red days in a month, yet my balance didn't go up very much, then that tells me that those 2 red days are way overexposed. So I remember OPSEC. Yeah. I think, and that goes on to tell you all, just like I said in that podcast, I think a daily win rate is a far better metric than a transactional win rate. Everyone wants to talk about their transactional win rate. I went 11 for 12 today. That's great. I think, which is, that's important to track, but I think it's more important to track your daily win rate. Your daily win rate. It'll take pressure off your shoulders. It'll keep you from holding on to a win or holding on to a losing position because you want to keep that 100% daily gain or the daily rate, all that kind of stuff. I do track it, yeah. How much in general is needed to start trading options? Is it possible to start off with 500? Yeah, it's possible to start off with that little. The truth is that there's a whole bunch of different metrics that are important to track and tailor them to what you do. Tailor them to your weaknesses and your strengths. If you have a weakness for taking that causes you to take few but very large losses, then you need to dial in on that and figure out why you're doing that and be aware of it. Have you scaled up and down how much your total account percentage you risk per day? Not really. Not really. Uh, because I keep my day trading account pretty much the same balance. I skim off profits. And look at this, another sell off here, down to S4 down to S5. I keep my account balance pretty much the same. Yeah, so a couple of things to look out for the podcast, which I'm waiting for calls here for the podcast, is one, I'm going to have veteran on for the podcast. I'm actually have veteran a lot. I want to have kind of like a get to know who is vet type of thing, and then it'll be more of a technical type thing with vet. I want to have a modcast podcast with all the moderators. I want to bring on Mrs. OM because she's going to have a bigger presence in the community going on the next year. Got a couple of things cooking with her. And then I want to do kind of like bring on some traders like out of the channel, out of the community. Some people that have been doing pretty well, have them on. I think it'd be fun. So have a little fun with the podcast. What do I talk about on the podcast currently? A lot of different stuff. It's mostly non-technical stuff like emotional stuff, confidence, how I started, kind of things like that. So I try not to get too dry and numbers and technical in the podcast because I don't think people really, that's not what people sign on for podcasts for. It's kind of like entertainment slash stuff. You want to listen to people that you trust and appreciate listening to. They're slightly entertaining. Let's get that OM Spotify deal. I will be putting the podcast on Spotify shortly. So, yep, the one about the wrong SAT score, that was huge. Huge. Why don't I trade QQQ? Every now, rarely I'll trade the Qs. I haven't done it again. I don't think I've done it since like September. But I just don't. I like trading. I just don't. It's the simplest answer is that. I trade on SPY and SPX, and I don't really focus all that much on trading the Qs. Have you heard about the Havana syndrome? I've heard about it, but I don't really have an opinion one way or the other. So we have a little bit of green here, eating up that red. Lerad, fun fact, I got a perfect score in the math on the SAT. That's awesome. I knew that dude was smart. I never took the SAT. I took the ACTs. I got a 23 on the ACTs, but I never took the SATs. What'd you get on the ASFAB? I don't remember. The AFOQT I did very well. I actually maxed out the pilot scores on AFOQT. Here comes in the comments. In fact, that's one of the reasons I got my pilot slot is because I maxed out the navigator and the pilot scores on the AFOQT. All right, a little bit of green. Can't make a scene if you don't have the green. Let's see if about looking at some calls. Well, yes, I am a pilot. Any advice for starting SPY swing traders? If you want to start looking at swinging positions, SPY is great. I made a killing. That's what I did before day trades. You have to be very in tune with cyclicals, how the market fluctuates, and how the market absorbs data and news. So you can make a lot of money swinging, but you can also get whooped swinging. Do I do these live streams frequently? Yes, I do them on YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But I do a voice-only stream on Discord every day, Monday through Friday. How long do I usually hold my swing trades? It depends. It depends. Sometimes days, sometimes, a few days. I've done a lot less swing trading the past year than I have in my career, so. Can you go over your last trade on the 4285 calls? How did you know it would bounce off S5? Great question. That was purely a European closed bounce speculation play. I took it right before, I think it was 10:28, 11:28 Eastern Time. I took that play in anticipation of the market bouncing. That's why I even said I'm looking for a very, very small movement. I'm not looking for a killer gain. I just want to get some profits out of a call. And bam. The reason why I did that because we had very sustained selling all morning long for 2 hours straight. Nothing but selling. Not really any dumping except for one candle, but it was all kind of like organized downward selling, no buyers. So I thought the close would bring in some relief buying. And I was lucky enough to get some buying out of that. How long did you trade before you started trading SPX options? I mean, I've been trading SPX options and SPY options for years. Exclusively, I traded for about 9 years before I started doing it exclusively. And then, ever since December of, 21? No, 22, 20. December of 20 is when I started doing this exclusively, whereas I'm only trading SPY and SPX. Do I prefer 0 DT or longer expirations on SPX? I do it all. Sometimes I'll trade 2, 3 DT, sometimes I'll trade 0 DTE, and everything in between. Look at that little green. Hey. Love to see it. Yeah, if there's one thing I could truly impart on you all, is you all know that I'm a very conservative player. You have to really focus on making sure the one move, the one bad position you take doesn't blow you out. That's huge. I mean, because you can have so many green days and green trades in a row. You can go 13 green trades in a row on one day, and then that 14th trade blows you out if you do things incorrectly or overextend yourself. So just make sure you're protecting yourself. You don't let any one play or any one day for that matter blow up your account. Why did you switch from swing to day trading? It's risk. Because the market had gone from straight up bull climb, just buy calls and sit back and relax. And then about late 2020, the gap ups during the overnight stopped because I was swing trading. So I was like, all right, well, I'll just buy it. And I'll kind of retrace and we'll get that upwards trading because the market was very bullish. You had all this liquidity being pumped into the market, which nobody understood. And then I decided to take a look at what was happening overnight. And it happened like literally 85% of the time. And, we all know the stat. Ever since 1993, SPY has made up 98% of their gains in pre-market, overnight hours. So, but I noticed that late 2020, early 2021, that kind of shifted to 50-50. It went like a month and a half. It was 50-50. So, me personally, I elected to stop taking positions overnight, stop holding overnight, and doing day trading. And when I started doing that, I mean, my win rate was astronomical. It was crazy, and that's what my system was born out of that. So we got a little bit of buying relief here. Watch VWAP, watch the bottom of the AM range. You're still holding the call entry? Please provide that overnight stat. I believe, double check me on this. I'm sure you could find it. Since 1993, SPY has, I think it might even be 100%, but I'm 98% is in my brain. Ever since 1993, 98% of SPY's gains have come in overnight trading, not during the market session. So, theoretically, based on that stat, if you were to buy it close and sell it open, you would make 98% of the market returns in overnight trading. Double check me on those numbers though. And then after December 2020, I stopped doing that because I noticed there was a shift, at least short term. Yeah. Somebody get Vet some cream of wheat. That cereal's too hard for his teeth. Is this why there's always mega candles at close? Yeah. And you have to remember that European close, that's the time frame we focus on. In addition to our open and close, that European close is usually pretty volatile. Even European open is volatile as well. But it's at 3 o'clock Eastern time, and most people are sleeping. I just closed my call. Nicely done. Nicely done. Good. Good. There you go, Teresa. Yeah, it was a great strategy. I mean, I made a lot of money doing that, and it was easy. Like there was no stress at all. I would just, and then I started. I had this big long. In fact, I'd like to find that Excel sheet. It's somewhere. It's on my old computer. I had an Excel sheet that I was calculating the percent, like the probabilities of a Tuesday versus Wednesday open, and at certain levels if it were going to open green, and it worked pretty dang well, man. I was making great money, and then it just stopped. I started taking more losses, and I started breaking even on a lot of plays, and I stopped doing that. And I think that was kind of the end of the 2020 rally that kind of fizzled out, and then we re-began the 2021, and then I was doing all the day trades. I close as well. The stream makes trading a lot more calming. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. I definitely try not to get too hyped, and a lot of guys are buy this, we got to do this, blah blah blah. I try to keep things nice and even keel, even when things are going against me. People loving Tier 4. Good conversations going on right now. First time in the weeklies and loving it. Good stuff. Veteran talking about cereal. All right, still climbing up here. Nasdaq still buying up here, trying to enter the the bottom of the AM range. And I'm going to use this time to tell you about the time I decided to become a pilot. I'm just kidding with you. I'm having fun. I'm having fun. Hey, I'm new to your group. Can I ask, what are you with options or day trading? Hold on, see. Two separate convoys of military equipment seen moving towards there. Oh, uh-oh. Yep, and there's the big red candle. Can I ask where you are at options trade for the day or swing? Today's entries ideas. I've taken 3 plays today, 2 puts, 1 calls. Actually 4. I took a short featured overnight and then 2 puts and 1 calls today. I'm doing very well, 1 on all of them. I remember once you said you used to trade Amazon a lot. Why not anymore? It's because you rather stick with SPY. Yeah, I'd rather stick with SPY. I still trade Amazon around earnings because I can usually time those pretty well. But that's it. I don't do it much. Do the levels in Discord go into Patreon Trading View? Yes, they do. Do you get news alerts? I've got set up where I check Twitter frequently. Apparently, there's a better way to do that, like Twitter feed or something like that. But I don't have that. I just check it manually. Ooh. CBS News, bad reporting. Biden expected to announce more sanctions. Red candle being eaten up. Ukraine says that the attacks are consistent with Russian behavior. So that headline gave us a little bit of a pop there, but it's holding for now. No sell-off. Y'all are funny. What headline? So they released a headline saying that they've spotted uh, a convoy heading to the Ukrainian border with no insignia. So they're not. It doesn't reflect that they are Russian or not, but obviously, I mean, we can kind of assume. I do. Yep. I buy calls and puts. Yep. Yep. All in the SPY or SPY SPX. I try to post the commensurate trade in SPY if I'm doing SPX, just because I understand that some people are trading, or most people are trading SPY. All right. Well, that's 11 o'clock Central, 12 o'clock Eastern. I'm going to go ahead and call that a morning. Go grab me some lunch. Starting to get a little hungry. So, yeah, we've had a little bit of downside, followed by a little bit of temporary upside. We'll see how this starts to follow along. European market closed, and we had a little bounce, and we've got another headline with a convoy heading towards the border. So we'll see what happens with that. appreciate y'all hanging out with us. If you are on YouTube, come over and join the community. The links are down in the description of this live stream, both with the Discord and the Patreon. Let me know which tier you want to sign up with. If you have any questions, hit me up. I got an email, optionsmillionaire2020@gmail.com, or you could shoot me a DM in the Discord. For those who are in the Discord, be prepared for an afternoon stream. I anticipate more volatility coming out in the afternoon. And if it is, I'll hop on and we'll do some trading together. Maybe I might even do it for our do it like a trading live stream type thing for our tier 3s. We'll see. So anyway, yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, YouTube. I'll see you again on Friday because today's hump day, Wednesday. I'll see you for Friday, and then if not, I will see you bright and early tomorrow in the Discord. I'm out. See you.